Representing the green today with a lovely green outfit as we see Bill Heflin matching Kerry Logan strike for strike in the second frame.
Interesting enough about Bill Heflin, you may want to know, he has had 2 triple bypass surgeries for his heart, and last year during the King, he waited until after the King of Bowling was over with before he had his second operation. He wanted to compete during the tournament the entire year.
And that he did, and compete very well. As he knows it. He knew that was a strike. He gets them to do their work.
The right-handed 4-9 is the left-hander's 6-8. Take a look at it here from our left-sided camera shot. Here the ball's going to enter the 1-2 pocket, very heavy, but the 3-pin going to the wall, taking out the 6 and the 9. Kerry Logan, 1 strike behind.
You were saying 1 strike behind until his 3rd ball. Boy, we have a nice pace game here. Kerry Logan, as we mentioned last year, became the king as he dethroned Greg Lothian in week number 7. And it was right here in LaRue Lanes. Logan coming in, as we mentioned, with a 728 series. And Dave, as you mentioned, he just nudged out as the king last year in the championships.
Very few times can you put a finger on how much a mistake can cost you, but last year in our King of Finals, that's exactly what he did. In the 10th frame, all he needed was a mark to become our king for the year. He came up a little high, right through the nose, left the 4-6 that time, and wound up losing by 3 pins, and that mistake cost him $800.
He's got the 4, 6, 8, and 10 to make here. Not an enviable position to be.
Look at that!
Oh!
Absolutely
A
fantastic.
little of that luck of the Irish there, Dave, for Kerry Logan.
I'll tell you what, he took the only angle you could possibly take on it to win. He's going to take the 4-pin. Watch it here. Eyes on the left-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to take the 4-pin. He's going to throw it across the lane after taking out the 9, into the 10, and out of the pit. That's exactly the way you're going to do it. And while we were away,
Bill Heflin got a little push on the 10-pin to put another strike on the board for him, and that's 4 straight for Mr. Heflin. Bill Heflin, 51 years old. He's been bowling for some 33 years.
You can see how impressed Bill was. He got up there, bowled, strike. Up there, he's going to bowl another strike. Oh, leaves a 6-pin.
6-pin, still standing. You know, with all these strikes today, Bo, that high game may be in jeopardy, and we have a nice prize for the person who holds that high game after the season's said and done.
That's correct. We have a 7-Up, from 7-Up, we have a television that will be awarded for the high game on TV this year.
Daryl Higgins holding that currently at 269. That's way back in week 2 as Heflin picks up the 6-pin spare.
Currently, he enjoys a 13-pin lead, both bowlers in the 4th frame. Kerry Logan getting ready to bowl in the 5th.
Dave, after a 4, 6, 8, 10 spare, does a bowler feel like he gets new life and all of a sudden has been swept out of the clutches of disaster? And
Tom, I'll tell you, the adrenaline flows. If anything, if this ball's not in the pocket, it'll be applied. Unbelievable. Bad shot. Bad break. I mean, it was a good shot. The right-hander's 4-9. We see it again. The 6-8, where the ball just comes up just a shade high into the pocket. And both of these players, their ball drives so hard that there was no chance for deflection.
Quickly, how do you play this one, Dave?
Well, for Kerry, he's going to try to hit the 6-pin to the right-hand side and slide the 6 into the 8.
Ooh.
And he missed by about a half an inch.
That would have done it, too. That would have done it. Well, you know, we have some qualifiers over at Stumps Lanes for next weekend, and I kind of recognize one of those names on there.
Yes, it's a new name on the leaderboard. Our high qualifier right now, though, is Ron Bonnert with a 715, and our second high qualifier is Mr. David Newrath with a 699. And Gary Roffus is 684, his third. 619's cashing for the men. And again, our queen from last year, Joanne Heflin, shot another 662 series and sitting on the top on the board.
Unbelievable. Kerry Logan is just that, with a strike here in frame number 6.
Well, and a strike none too soon. He needs a lot of them, and Bill Heflin's not going to take the time to let him get too far ahead. Right there you see it, perfect, no deflection. 4-pin going into the 7 and taking it out.
Here's Heflin. One more time. It's just like clockwork.
Both bowlers have a strike up in the 6th frame. The deficit, 27 pins. This man, Bill Heflin, enjoys that lead.
You know, relatively calm for a grandfather of 2 and about to be with 2 twins on the way, Dave.
That's right. As we look at the 27-pin lead enjoyed by Bill, of course he's calm. He's always been calm. I have never, ever watched Bill Heflin get excited. I think him to run a strikeout means taking 2 steps laterally. That's running one out for Bill.
Well,
He's
Kerry,
a terrific guy, though.
Oh, he certainly is. Good demeanor and good for the sport of bowling. I think the younger bowlers, seeing a man like him through the years, his adversity, and still bowling as well as he is, it's an inspiration for everybody. It's Kerry Logan seeking some inspiration from Bill Heflin.
Well, he matched Bill Heflin's double right there to keep the deficit at 27 pins, but we're running out of paper, Bo. We've got 3 frames left, 27 pins the deficit. Quickly, what that tells you is if Bill Heflin marks out, Kerry Logan's going to have to strike out to win.
8th frame for Logan leaves a solid 7.
I tell you what, everybody wants to know what's the difference between a weak 7 or a strong 7 or a weak 10, a strong 10. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Watch the ball jump to the left side of your screen. See it right there jumping left? Instead, it takes the 2 pin straight back. The 4 pin goes more to the left than back, therefore the weak 7. What causes a weak corner pin is your ball deflection, ladies and gentlemen. So not only watch the ball rolling down the lane, but watch the ball roll through the pins, and that'll tell you if you threw a good shot or not.
Cruising through this first game here at LaRue Lanes. It's always nice to come over and see Charlie golf us here.
It
Bo.
certainly is. We'd like to thank Charlie for the great hospitality he extended to us and our bowlers last weekend, and of course today on the show.
Oh, disaster.
Unbelievable.
7-10. I say disaster, I guess if you're going to make a split like that, Dave.
Let's take a look. Deflection, remember we talked about. Watch this ball. Jump. Do you see it jump to the extreme left there? Now that causes all the pins to not do their job, Tom. And we wind up with a light 7-10. Bowler's nightmare, like you said, but Bill knows he did not throw the ball that well, but sometimes you kind of hope that you leave 9 rather than 10.
You could absorb something like that when you have a lead like Bill had at that time. Now he just has to get back on track here in the 9th frame. Heflin was on 2 times last year in week 4 over in Glenn Schmidt's lanes in Newport, and then up in Milford Lanes in week 11. But he's been competing for quite a few years in the TV King. And boy, he's back on the stick with that strike.
Well, he knows what he has to do. Kerry Logan is no slouch. You're not going to run away and hide. If it's mathematically possible, you want to shut him out if you can. Now, look, if Kerry Logan strikes in the 9th frame, that gives him 171. That means he cuts the deficit to 14 pins. 3 strikes in the 10th could do it. But he's got to have this one.
He heard you, Dave. Mixes them up. A strike for Kerry Logan, so the heat's still on Bill Heflin.
Both players with a strike working in the 9th frame. Kerry Logan, if he takes it to the wall, would give him 231. Bill Heflin would need the first strike in the 10th to win.
Tenth frame, Kerry Logan.
Gotta have it.
And he does. Undaunted by the pressure, Kerry Logan comes right back for a strike.
Let's take a look at it here. The light ripper, you need one? Let's trust it. Sends a head pin to the right wall, comes off, never even has a chance to get to the 5 because it's already going backwards. Kerry Logan, with this strike, will force Bill Heflin to get the first strike in the 10th frame. And as last year, when he needed one, he threw it a little bit high.
6 pin, the only one standing.
With a spare, he finishes out for 220. But Bill Heflin doesn't automatically win. Bill Heflin has to throw a mark in the 10th frame to win.
Looks like Kerry is in the opposite position as he was last year.
mark here for Bill Heflin, gives him game number 1 and the right to go on to meet Jim Beckler in game number 2. Down the road, Greg Lothian, the king, for 4 weeks running. Try to make it 5 today, but with a guy like Mr. Heflin.
The best kind of mark, Bo.
That's for sure.
The party's over for Logan.
Nice little touch with the green shirts today, Bo, representing St. Patrick's Day. And by the way, right after King of Bowling, we'll have the annual Cincinnati St. Patrick's Day here on Channel 5, the parade. And if you can't make it down there, you'll be able to watch it for a full hour and then some on Channel 5. Bill Heflin pretty much wrapped it up, Bo. I guess both of these guys keeping the average of the TV King up this year.
Well, I think we'll have an increase this week because our average right now is at 210.
Mm-hmm.
It is at 210.
And it's been staying around that point, 210, 214.
Right, it really hasn't been that far off.
Bill Heflin, another ho-hum, 245.
So Bill Heflin goes out a winner here in game number 1 of week 8 on Hudepohl's TV King of Bowling. And when we come back, we'll show you that the winner of game 1, Bill Heflin, will go on to meet Jim Beckler in game 2 of Hudepohl's TV King of Bowling.